All right, hey everyone, welcome back to another deep dive.
Excited to be here.
Today, we're going shopping.
Oh,
Well, kinda, sorta.
okay.
We're diving into the world of shopping malls.
Right.
Specifically, Southdale Center
Southdale, okay.
in Edina, Minnesota. Have you ever heard of it?
I have, yeah.
So you might be thinking malls.
Right.
Really?
Mm.
That's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
Trust me, this is way more than just retail therapy.
I believe it.
We've got like articles, historical records. We even found a YouTube video
Yeah.
of like this guy just walking around the mall today.
Wow, that's commitment.
We're going to uncover how Southdale went from like this radical idea to this like iconic American,
landmark.
yeah, a landmark, exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe even learn some stuff by ourselves along the way.
I think that's the beauty of these deep dives. You never know where they'll lead.
Exactly.
And Southdale's story is really a reflection of like these huge cultural and economic shifts.
Huge, for sure.
Like from the rise of suburbia
Oh, yeah.
to like the digital age.
The digital age.
It's a big story.
It is a big story, so let's set the stage a little bit, okay?
Yeah.
It's the 1950s.
Right.
Suburbs are booming.
Yep.
Cars are king.
Uh-huh.
And downtowns are starting to feel, I don't know,
A little less.
little vibrant.
Yeah, less vibrant.
Yeah, less busy.
And then enter Victor Gruen, this architect,
Okay.
with a vision, but it wasn't all about shopping.
Interesting.
It was about community.
That is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gruen was a European refugee,
Uh-huh.
and he actually hated car-centric culture.
Really?
He wanted to bring the energy and the social interaction, like the European town squares
Yeah.
indoors.
Okay.
So he's creating like this climate-controlled utopia.
I like that.
And think about it. Minnesota winters,
Brutal.
brutal. You got to get inside.
Yeah.
But he was also addressing like some of the social anxieties of the time.
Like, what do you mean? Well, we can get into that.
Okay.
But there were definitely like undercurrents there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So in 1956,
Okay.
Southdale Center opens its doors, 72 stores, a giant birdcage.
Whoa, wait.
Yeah,
A bird cage?
in the center court.
Like a literal bird cage.
Giant birdcage.
With birds.
Yeah, guess so.
Huh.
And over 5,000 parking spaces.
Wow. Okay, so they still embrace the car a little bit.
They did, even if Gruen probably cringed at that.
Right.
But over 40,000 people showed up on opening day.
Oh, wow.
This was a huge deal.
Absolutely massive. And this was pre-internet.
Pre-everything.
Pre-online shopping. This was revolutionary.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine stepping into this fully enclosed, climate-controlled world?
Yeah.
Completely different from, like, the open-air shopping centers at the time?
Makes you wonder if this was like the ultimate escape.
Right.
I mean, Gruen even coined the term Gruen transfer.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
But to describe that moment when shoppers go from like, I'm just browsing,
Purposeful.
like, oh, I need to buy
What is
this,
that? Yeah.
impulse purchases.
Yeah.
And we see that online all the time now with like
Algorithms.
the algorithms, but this was happening back in the 50s.
Wild.
It's crazy.
He designed it to encourage that kind of browsing
Real.
and discovery. The layout, the lighting, the atmosphere.
Huh?
It was all carefully crafted to make you lose track of time.
And spend money.
And yeah, spend money.
Of course.
Even the placement of the escalators
Really?
was designed to guide shopper flow.
So they're thinking about all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
They're thinking about it.
So I've heard that not everyone was a fan of this whole enclosed mall concept.
Right.
Wasn't Frank Lloyd Wright a critic?
He was not a fan.
What did he say?
Well, he called it soulless
Really?
and artificial.
Did I compare it to
like under real city streets.
Huh. That's interesting.
And, it does raise a good question, right? Yeah.
Did malls like Southdale,
Uh-huh.
while innovative,
Yeah.
contribute to the decline of downtown areas
Oh, interesting.
and the rise of urban sprawl?
Yeah.
It's complicated, right?
Yeah.
No easy answers.
Definitely something to ponder. But regardless
Yeah.
of those larger debates, you can't deny that Southdale had a huge impact.
Huge. Yeah.
It wasn't just a place to shop, it was a social hub,
Totally.
a community center, especially for teenagers.
Yeah, especially for teenagers in the suburbs, right?
In the suburbs.
Because there wasn't really anywhere else to go.
So this is like the place to be.
This is the place to be, to see and be seen, hang out with your friends,
Oh, of course.
grab a bite to eat at the food court.
Of course. It's like its own little world.
Yeah, and of course it spurred a mall building boom across America.
Really?
Oh yeah, thousands of malls popped up, all inspired by Southdale.
It's crazy how one place can have such a ripple effect.
It really is.
Okay, so we've seen Southdale's birth and its rise to fame.
But the story doesn't end there. Let's fast forward a little bit.
Okay.
What were some of the key moments in its evolution?
Well, the mall landscape was constantly changing
Right.
in the 70s and 80s.
Mhm.
Southdale went through, like, expansions,
Right.
renovations, keeping up with the times.
Keeping up? Got to stay modern.
But things got really interesting in the 90s.
The 90s.
The 90s.
When a certain Mall of America opened just a few miles away.
Uh-oh.
Talk about competition.
Right in their backyard.
What did Southdale do to stay relevant?
Yeah, did they panic?
Did they panic?
Panic might be a strong word.
Okay.
But they definitely had to up their game.
Okay, so what did they do?
Well, they brought in new anchor stores.
Okay.
They expanded the food court.
Uh-huh.
They really focused on creating like a more upscale shopping experience, a little bit fancier, to differentiate themselves.
Okay.
They were fighting to hold on to their loyal customers.
So they weren't just sitting back and letting the new kids steal the show.
No, they were not.
Good for them.
They were constantly adapting and innovating.
That's how you stay alive.
That's how you do it.
And then, of course, the 2000s hit and everything changed.
It all changed. The world shifted.
The dawn of online shopping.
Ugh. The dreaded
The so-called retail apocalypse.
apocalypse. Dun, dun, dun.
This had to have been a turning point for malls everywhere.
Oh, it was. It was huge.
Not just Southdale.
Not just Southdale. This was everywhere.
Can you explain what exactly this retail apocalypse was?
Sure. Yeah. Retail apocalypse was just this term that people used to describe the widespread closure of brick and mortar stores.
Oh, okay.
Particularly like the big chains.
Yeah.
Due to the rise of online shopping,
Wow.
changing consumer habits.
We can just do it all from our couch?
From the couch, in our pajamas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how did Southdale weather the storm?
Well, they had to reinvent themselves.
All right, I'm on the edge of my seat. What they do?
Just like so many other malls. They had to figure out, how do we do this?
Yeah.
How do we survive?
All right, what did this reinvention look like?
Well, they did something really interesting. They started thinking about what online retailers couldn't offer
Ooh.
experiences.
Oh.
And that's where we'll pick up in part 2 of our dip dive.
Can't wait. All right, deep divers, welcome back. Last time we left off, Southdale Center was facing the retail apocalypse. Online shopping was changing the game, and malls needed to find, a new way to thrive.
Yeah.
The expert was just about to tell us how Southdale tackled this challenge, so what happened?
Well, they realized that they couldn't beat online retailers at their own game.
Right.
So they shifted their focus to something that Amazon just couldn't replicate.
What's that?
Experiences.
Oh.
Remember Victor Gruen, his original vision for Southdale was more than just shopping.
Right.
It was about community, connection, creating a destination.
So they kind of went back to their roots in a way.
Yeah, exactly. But how do you do that?
Yeah, how do you do that?
In the age of the internet.
Right.
It means diversifying, thinking beyond traditional retail.
Okay.
Southdale started adding things like a 16-screen movie theater, upscale restaurants,
Fancy.
a little bit of fitness center with a rooftop pool,
Oh, wow.
even a Dave & Buster's.
So it became a place where you could spend like an entire day.
Exactly, not just an hour running errands.
Right.
They wanted people to have a reason to get out of the house, to be with other people.
But was it enough to but wasn't that a risky move? Like putting government offices in a mall.
It might seem unconventional,
Yeah.
but it makes a lot of sense when you think about it.
Okay.
Malls are already centrally located, they're accessible, they have tons of parking.
True.
By adding these services, they become even more integrated into the community.
Okay. Yeah.
Less reliant on retail alone.
That's really smart.
Right.
So while other malls were struggling to survive, Southdale was evolving into something totally new.
It was this hybrid space
Yeah.
that combined shopping, entertainment, and even civic services.
I'm curious, how did shoppers respond to all these changes?
Well, it's a mixed bag.
Huh.
Some people, they miss the old days
Yeah.
when malls were all about shopping, but others,
Right.
they love the new mix of offerings.
Yeah.
They see it as a way for malls to stay relevant in this changing world.
I mean, it sounds like Southdale is this microcosm of a larger debate
Totally, yeah.
about the future of retail.
Right. Like, some people want things to stay the same.
They want the nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly.
But other people,
Yeah.
they're excited about the possibilities.
The newness.
The innovation, the adaptation, and, you can even see this in the architectural changes.
Really? How so?
So Southdale has gone through numerous renovations, expansions over the years, but they've also preserved some elements of the original design.
Okay.
Like that iconic center court with the skylight.
The one with all the greenery, yeah, I saw it in the video.
Exactly, yeah, it's this blend of old and new.
I bet that's really cool to see in person how the past and present, coexist.
It is, it is.
Speaking of the past, I'd love to hear a little more about Victor Gruen.
Yeah.
What happened to him?
Well, sadly, he didn't see how Southdale evolved.
Oh.
He actually became disillusioned with the whole concept that he created.
Really?
He felt like malls had strayed too far from his original vision of community-focused spaces.
Huh.
He ended up disowning the whole mall concept.
He called them bastard developments.
Wow, strong words.
Yeah, he was not happy.
So, it's almost Shakespearean, isn't it?
It kind of is.
Like the creator turning against his creation.
It's a classic tale.
It makes you wonder what he would think of Southdale today.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Would he see it as a success? A failure?
Right.
I think he'd be both fascinated and horrified.
That's a good way to put it.
Fascinated by the ways it's adapted, but maybe horrified by the scale of consumerism.
And, people still driving their cars to get there.
Exactly, right.
It's like a reminder that even the most well-intentioned ideas, they can have unintended consequences.
Absolutely. But it also shows that nothing stays the same forever.
Right.
Everything evolves, even shopping malls.
And it's not just Southdale. We're seeing this in malls all over the country.
Yeah, it's a trend.
This shift towards mixed-use development,
Right.
the focus on experiences.
Yep.
It's really interesting.
And a resurgence of local businesses.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, the small businesses, the artisans.
So what does it all mean for the future of malls? Are they doomed, or do they have a fighting chance?
I think the malls that are willing to adapt, to embrace change, they'll have a bright future.
Well, yeah.
It's not enough to just offer a collection of stores anymore. They
Yeah.
need to be destinations.
Okay.
Offer something unique, something valuable to the community.
And it sounds like Southdale is a perfect case study for how to do just that.
I think so.
They've had their challenges,
Definitely.
but they've also shown resilience and a willingness to experiment.
They're not afraid to try new things.
Exactly, which is awesome. So I think that's a great place to wrap up part 2 of our deep dive.
Yeah.
But we're not done yet. In part 3, we're going to zoom out even further,
Okay.
explore some of the broader trends shaping the future of retail. What does it all mean for consumers, for communities? Stay tuned. All right, welcome back to the deep dive.
We've been on quite a journey through the world of Southdale Center, from its revolutionary beginnings to its fight for survival in the age of, Amazon. It's been quite a ride.
It has. But now let's step back and look at the bigger picture here.
Okay.
What does Southdale's story tell us about the future of retail?
Right.
And the role of these spaces in our communities?
Well, I think what's so fascinating about Southdale is how its evolution really mirrors a larger trend.
Oh, okay.
The retail apocalypse, like we talked about, it wasn't just about malls closing. It was really a symptom of this fundamental shift in how we shop.
Yeah.
And how we view these spaces.
We've all seen it, right?
We've all lived it.
Yeah, the convenience of online shopping has totally changed our expectations.
Oh, yeah.
We can get almost anything delivered to our doorstep with just a few clicks.
A few clicks, it's amazing and dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. So where does that leave physical stores?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
And retailers are grappling with this every single day. They're
Yeah.
realizing they just can't compete on convenience alone.
Right.
They have to offer something more, something,
Like what?
an experience, a sense of community, a reason to get off the couch,
Get out of those pajamas.
get out of the pajamas, put on real pants,
Yeah.
and engage with the world around us.
So it's not just about buying things anymore.
No.
It's about, the experience of shopping itself.
Exactly. It's about going somewhere, being somewhere.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Think about those independent boutiques, local artisans, the ones popping up in malls these days.
Yeah, I've seen those.
They offer unique products, personalized service, a connection to the community
Right.
that you just can't get online.
It's almost like the rise of like farmers markets and craft fairs.
Totally.
People want that authenticity.
They want that real connection, that human touch.
And it sounds like malls are starting to tap into that desire.
They are. They're becoming more curated, more diverse,
Okay.
more reflective of the actual communities they serve.
So are malls becoming more like those European town squares that Victor Gruen envisioned?
You know, it's interesting you say that.
Yeah.
In a way, yes, but with like a 21st century twist.
What do you mean?
It's not just about shops and restaurants anymore.
Right.
Malls are incorporating co-working spaces, fitness studios,
Oh, wow.
healthcare clinics, even apartments.
Really? So
Yeah.
they're becoming like a little mini city.
It's almost like they're coming full circle back to Gruen's original vision,
Yeah.
but in a way he could never have imagined.
It's really a testament to like the adaptability of these spaces.
It really is.
I mean, they've been declared dead so many times,
So many times.
but they keep finding ways to, reinvent themselves.
Yeah, resilient.
They are, which is awesome.
It's pretty amazing.
It makes you wonder, what will malls look like in another 10, 20, even 50 years?
It's hard to predict the future,
Yeah.
but I think one thing is clear.
Okay.
The malls that will survive, they're going to be the ones that embrace change, prioritize experiences, and foster that sense of community.
So what does this all mean for us? The shoppers, the consumers, the community members.
It means we all have a role to play
Oh,
in shaping the future of retail.
I like that.
We can choose to support local businesses, seek out unique experiences, be mindful of how our shopping habits actually impact our communities.
I mean, it means we can still find connection and a sense of belonging in these shared spaces.
Exactly. Even in this increasingly digital world.
Physical spaces still matter.
They do. It's really cool.
They have the power to bring people together, foster creativity, and contribute to that vibrant community feel.
I think this deep dive has given me a whole new perspective on shopping malls.
I'm glad to hear that.
They're not just like concrete boxes filled with stores.
Right.
They're reflections of our culture, our economy, and our evolving needs.
Or ever-changing needs.
Exactly. And they have the potential to be so much more.
They really do, and it's up to us to imagine what that future might look like.
I love that.
It's exciting.
It is.
So next time you're walking through a mall,
Yeah. Take a moment to appreciate its history, its evolution, its potential.
Yeah.
You might just be surprised by what you discover.
absolutely. And until next time, happy deep diving, everyone.